obviously, I feel really good about the outcome. It was a very quick, decisive fight. I think Kongo, underestimated my stand-up abilities, which a lot of people have made that mistake too. So he's not really in a small group. Probably an ever-growing smaller group now at the moment, I would think. But he just kept his hands kind of low, and I think, and rightfully so, he was really worried about the shot. But this game, you can't really be consumed with one aspect of it. You get caught with something else. So when I was moving around with my head movement, and he came in, I seen how he was keeping his hands. I originally actually threw the overhand left was to basically get my weight onto my right leg, my lead leg, so that I could follow up with a hook punch, a lead hook. After the overhand left, or the uppercut, that I like to throw, like with Nogueira and stuff. And after the left hand connected so well, but Kongo's a tough dude. It wasn't like I put his lights out. That I stunned him, and I think he was moving his feet at the right moment, and it knocked him over. A little bit more powerful than I've been in the past, so obviously it had some impact on it. But you watch the fight, he never really his eyes never rolled in the back of his head. He hit the mat and immediately, actually threw a weird kick at my leg. I think he tried to roundhouse me as I came in. And really the only mistake he really made in the fight where I'd look back if I was his coach and say, that wasn't the right thing to do then, was when he came up to his hands and knees. He should have just got up to his feet and backed away from me, because then I threw the left hand at him to try to finish him off, combination. You see that I completely miss him, and I end up on all four for a second. The only thing that allowed me to save myself was that he grabbed my leg, so that I reached over and grabbed the wizard in position for the guillotine. If he had been more apt to just say, let me get back at him, back up to my feet, he'd have been okay. But that also too might be relied upon. Maybe he was more stunned than I thought he was. I didn't think I thought he recovered super fast. Maybe he's just such a well-conditioned athlete that he made it, fake the funk,
Right.
But and then after that, when he sat up, I put him in the guillotine, and as soon as I sat back, I knew it was super tight. I kept it, right on the windpipe. But then I started, obviously you always prepare yourself for the next bet. So I put my leg really high up on the cage, like I had done against Tim Silva, where I pushed off the cage to armbar you. I was waiting for him to, pop his head out, but then usually when you pop your head out, you're pushing down with your hands, so his right arm would have been right in position for the armbar for another attempt at a submission. But obviously that wasn't necessary. I felt him come down, and a lot of people keep asking me that I feel him go limp. Not really. I felt him stop fighting after he pushed his hand on my elbow, but I didn't know if he was playing possum, So, he's a pretty smart guy, so that's why I kind of held on. And I looked up at Herb, like, are you going to check him? In so many words, but Herb Dean was already right on top of it. And he, felt his arm, and as soon as Herb did the wave, I was out, I didn't really just want to shoot straight in on him. He's pretty quick on his feet, has great lateral movement. And you can see how he's switching his legs and stuff. He can switch stance. It makes it a little bit harder to just try to throw a combination and fire a shot right afterwards. So I was using the punches to do one of two things. One, my goal was, because of how I feel about my complete mixed martial arts game now and overall, is that I was going to hurt him with punches, and a guy who's hurt is easier to take down, or even force him to take me down, like I've seen him in the past do to other people. Or B, get him so consumed that I was going to do a complete stand-up fight with him that after 2.5, 3 minutes of that, hopefully his training that he had prepared specifically for me would have went out the window. Usually most people that does, after 2 or 3 minutes, all the stuff that the camp tells them to do, and they revert back to who they really are. So I figured after about 3 minutes, when I see his stance change and he goes into kickboxing mode, that's when I could throw a combination and get a takedown. And I take that right out of, I give credit to Georges St. Pierre. I watch different fighters, and each fighter, is at the top of his game. I try to pull things from, and St. Pierre is phenomenal at that. He really will engage with you in a striking match, and then all of a sudden, the minute you forget that he can take you down, that's when he takes you down. Phenomenal timing on that. If he just went out there and shot on you in the middle of a combination, even if it was quite set up, I don't think he's going to be as effective. But he lulls people in, he punches him, you punch him, punch you. Oh yeah, we're kickboxing, let's have a stand-up war, boom, and now you're on your ass, So yeah, no, I think it's a strong possibility. Obviously, I haven't spoken to anybody about it, but I hear the rumors too, and I'm looking at the different matchups that are out there right now. The other two top guys out there, Nogueira and Velasquez are already scheduled to fight each other, so that means Carwin and I be, kind of left twiddling our thumbs, and Carwin was next in line for the title shot, and I had just lost the title. So, and I think I have a pretty good performance I'm coming off of. I think it would justify a pretty good matchup. which I would love to be able to fight. You know, any of the top guys, obviously. Carwin, it would be an honor to fight him also, just because I think he's a phenomenal fighter. I really think he represents the sport great, how he carries himself in and outside the octagon. And so, and I think he's a better version of Brock. So even on a personal note, if I could get a victory over him, I think that would somewhat quench my hatred and desire I have for Brock, because here's a guy who's a big, phenomenally strong athlete, who's a great, powerful athlete who comes from such a great wrestling background, four-time, NC Division II champion, who's built upon that. He has more experience than Lesnar does with the 10 fights, or 11 fights now I think he does. He's already showed what he can do in adversity. Against Gonzaga, he got caught and dropped, and immediately got back up to his feet after Gonzaga tried to cover him. He was a really good black belt in jiu-jitsu. Got back up to his feet and knocked Gonzaga out. So really, he's a tough guy. I think he's the top guy right now, and I think that it'd be a great pleasure for me to match myself up against him. Brock came back and he was on a prelim, and I guess people wouldn't be able to watch the fight, because that's what I would choose to do.
One night only, the biggest stars of mixed martial arts will come together for the Fighters Only World MMA Awards. See who takes home the top honors: Fighter of the Year, KO of the Year, Ring Girl of the Year. The Fighters Only World MMA Awards. Live from the joint inside the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Las Vegas. December 30th. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com.